Welcome to Borough Hall, this morning's land use public hearing. If you wish to testify, please fill in a speaking request form. For each item, please indicate calendar number, whether you're for or against, and if you're speaking as a rep. The applicant will be called to give a description of the zoning action requested, an explanation of the proposed project, and respond to any questions from the chair. The floor will then be open for public speakers. Each speaker will have 3 minutes. We're going to do all of the applications except for the affordable housing and the quality ZQA. We're going to do those two at the end. Okay? First item.
Calendar item number 1, DSA number 4-98BZ. The applicant is Eric Palatnik, PC, effective community board number 12.
Good morning, everyone. This is an application for a variance. We're looking to reopen and amend the variance because there was a rezoning in 2011 which changed the zoning district from R32 to R3X C1 3 overlay. There's a Walgreens there now. It's a 13,000 square foot building. And the original variance was sought because when Walgreens was there, the use wasn't permitted. But the change in the zoning allows the use, but it created some new minor non-compliances. So we want to reopen and amend the BSA grant to allow those non-compliances so the Walgreens will be in compliance. And the other thing that we're seeking is to eliminate the term of the variance because originally it wasn't commercial use permitted, but now with rezoning, commercial use like a Walgreens is permitted and encouraged. So that's the overview of the application. I can go into the minor non-compliances that we're seeking the variance for, and I can open the floor to any questions.
In your application, you cite that one of the issues with the term, which is 25 years, is the use makes leasing difficult. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so for a building like this, an establishment like a Walgreens, a commercial lease is usually 20 years. This term's going to expire in 2023. So if a new commercial tenant comes in, they're going to be negotiating a lease, presumably, and then they'll have to take into account the expense of renewing the term. So we want to eliminate that expense for a potential new tenant. And also, since the rezoning encourages a commercial use of this property, we don't know if the term is appropriate any longer.
Is there any question as to the tenancy of the Walgreens?
I don't know exactly, but they could be, they could be changing hands as far as the operator. But Walgreens is there to stay. The building isn't changing under the application. It's just for any perspective, new lesser or lessee the building, it would be a Walgreens.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Having no other speakers, this item is closed.
Calendar item number 2, BSA number 24514BZ. The applicant Stroop and Levant LLP, effective community board number 7.
Good morning, Borough President Katz. My name is Ross Moskowitz. I'm a member of the law firm Stroop and Levant, counsel to 2 Fulton Square. Our applicant for the property commonly known as 2 Fulton Square, which is block 4972, lot 65 in Borough, Queens. I'm joined today by Matt Mosley of Margolis Mosley Architecture. And we're here today to discuss our special permit application pursuant to Section 7366 of the zoning resolution. This project is a mixed-use project, and in all respects is an as-of-right, fully complies with the underlying C42 zoning district. And in fact, recently CB7 approved this project by a 31-4 vote. The project does not contain any individual landmarks, not located within a historic district, nor a special district. It's located, as you may know, within the downtown Flushing Brownfield Opportunity Area. It's not located within a flood zone or within the New York City designated coastal zone. It's adjacent to a number of buildings that are used for commercial, office, retail, residential, hotel, parking, and institutional. As you may know, much of downtown Flushing is located in what's called the Approach District. In recent years, numerous developments in downtown Flushing have received these exact special permit we're seeking today, including 4231 Union Street, 3527 Prince Street, 16 College Point Boulevard, and 3708 Union Street. Since the project is located within the approach surface of the approach district of the flight obstruction area of LaGuardia Airport, we are seeking special permit today, as Article 6 of the zoning resolution prohibits the construction of buildings within the approach district that penetrate the approach surfaces in the horizontal surface or the conical surface within the airport circling district. Pursuant to 6120 of the zoning resolution, the highest projection of any building constructed at the project site cannot penetrate the approach surface. Here on our development, we have 4 towers. At Tower A, the approach surface is 130 feet above mean curve level. Tower B, the approach surface is 120 feet above mean curve level. Tower C, the approach surface is 121 above mean curve level. And at Tower D, the approach surface is 128 above curve elevation. Pursuant to Section 7366, the Board of Standards of Appeals may permit the construction of a building that exceeds these height limits imposed by 6120. Provided that, 1, the applicant submits a site plan with elevations showing the proposed building in relation to such maximum height limits. 2, the board finds that such proposed building would not constitute a hazard, either under the existing layout of the airport or under any planned reorientation or lengthening of the airport runways, to the safety of the occupants of such proposed building, to other buildings in the vicinity, or to the safety of air passengers and will not disrupt established airways. In making this finding, the board must refer the application to the FAA for report as to whether the proposed building would constitute a danger to the safety of air passengers or disrupt established airways. The FAA issued a determination of no hazard to air navigation on 6/6/14, finding that the proposed project was not a hazard and setting forth certain conditions for its determination, all of which have been submitted. Subsequently, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey issued a January 21st, 2015 letter agreeing with FAA's conclusions and conditions set forth in the FAA approval. The FAA approval provided for a maximum height of 226 feet above mean sea level, which is what is being proposed. I'll now turn to Matt Osley, the architect of record, to run the drawing to show the specific request.
Hi again, my name is Matthew Osley, Principal Margulies Osley Architecture. To my left is a site plan board that indicates the positioning of the site, the orientation of downtown Flushing. The project site is bounded by 4 streets: College Point Boulevard, Prince Street, 37th Avenue, and 39th Avenue. 4 towers that Ross had brought up. Start one on each of the street frontages, 39th Avenue being Tower A, 30, which is at this location of 39th, Prince Street Towers on Tower B facing the Prince Street frontage. Tower C will rise along 37th Avenue, and then the final tower on the site will then face College Point Boulevard.
Any provider of the hotel yet? Out of curiosity. And the community facilities, any idea on the use that your client has for that?
We have a variety of options, but nothing is locked down yet.
Questions? No, pretty straightforward. Any speakers? All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Having no speakers, this item is closed.
Calendar item number 3, BSA number 10115BZ, the applicant J. Goldstein, Executive Community Board number 14.
Good morning, my name is Jay Goldstein, I'm here on behalf of the application. The application before you is the use for house of worship. The synagogue began operating in January 2005 and currently rents space from a local school. As a result, the local school, which operates during the week, can't house the synagogue and doesn't allow the synagogue to operate during the week. Therefore, the synagogue is currently restricted in both growth based on the size that they have to rent and in their operation. So we bought a property located near the school. We're proposing to build a building on that property. As of right, we're allowed a 0.85 FAR. We're asking today for a 0.91 FAR, which equates to 746 square feet of floor area. that we're asking from the Board of Standards and Appeals. Additionally, as a result of the odd shape of the property, which can be seen on the land use map, the property itself is a through lot, and a portion of the property curves towards the northern end along parallel to each line towards Frisco Avenue, creating certain hardships in the as-of-right development of this property. As a result, we're asking for a waiver of the side yard for a depth of 3 feet 5 inches for approximately 20 feet of the northern property line. Additionally, we're asking for a 1-foot incursion on the eastern property line to accommodate the arc that would bump out of the building property a little bit. Additionally, since this is a through lot, we're required to provide a rear yard equivalent. Rear yard equivalent would require one front yard or rear yard of 15 feet, the other one of 45 feet. As a result of the odd shape of this lot and the curve which the lot has, we're asking for a 15-foot waiver along the shallowest portion of the frontage on Frisco Avenue. We'll maintain a 30-foot front yard, but we're asking for that additional 15 feet, which is required as a result of the rear yard equivalents. Along the other portion of the front yard along Hicksville Road, we're asking for a flat foot 9 inches at the shallowest. Again, this is a result of the curve in the property line. We would be compliant along most portion of the property line, but since the curve, we are required to ask for that waiver. Additionally, we're asking for a 2-foot height waiver of the building to accommodate for the second floor to allow for taller ceilings, which are appropriate for synagogues. The building would allow the community to grow. We have approximately 178 seats for the men, 179 seats for the women. We would also have a library which can accommodate full-time study and lectures which go on throughout the day. The hours of operation are proposed 6:30 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday, 2:30 in the afternoon, 6:30 in the evening, and 9:30 in the evening during the week. During the weekends, Friday night will depend on the sundown, what time we start. Saturday morning we have 8 a.m. prayer services, and Saturday afternoons will be another prayer service depending on the time of year. Is there any other
What was
questions?
the height waiver again?
2 feet.
And the FAR is like 5,000, 10,000?
The FAR as of right we're allowed 0.85, and we're asking for 0.91. We're at 740 square feet.
Catering hall?
No catering.
No food. Where do you
Look.
get your food from?
The food will be brought in from the local community, and it's restricted strictly to the members of the congregation for small affairs, and it would not have a catering hall, and no use during the catering facilities.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Having no speakers on this item, it is closed.
Calendar items number 4 and 5 are related. Mueller number N160049CRY and Mueller number N160051CRY. The applicant, Department of City Planning, and it's for City Conservation Fund.
Thank you. My name's Eric Kroger, with City Planning. I'm joined by my colleague Laura Smith and a number of other city planning colleagues. And we also have 2 colleagues from APD who are here to answer any questions that you may have. Just to briefly present the proposal, these 2 proposals are consequence of the recommendations in the Mayor's Housing New York plan, which came out in May of 2014. And it's planned to produce or preserve 200,000 units of affordable housing over the 10-year period. And the proposal has many components to it, which 2 of the most key components of the 2 that are being presented today that require changes to zoning. There are a number of trends going on in the city and in the borough of Queens, which are addressed by these proposals. One trend is that the city's population continues to grow, and the city's population is expected to exceed 9 million by 2040, an all-time population high, and the borough of Queens also continues to grow. The senior population in that period is also expected to grow by about 400,000 people and about 90,000 in Borough of Queens. One of the consequences of continued population growth is that incomes have not kept up with rents, and large percentage of the population pays an undue percentage of its income in rent. Housing production is one way that we can alleviate those rent burdens by creating a greater supply of housing, which should push rents down, and at the same time creating a balanced housing stock in which the housing is affordable to a range of incomes, and that is what we're trying to do with these two proposals. So first I'm going to talk about mandatory inclusionary housing. The city is proposing to create the most rigorous mandatory inclusionary housing program of any major American city. It's possible to do this really because of the reforms to the 421A tax incentive program that happened earlier this year, which allow us to acquire percentages of affordability and levels of affordability that are really extraordinary among American cities. The mandatory inclusionary housing will apply upon rezonings that create significant amounts of additional residential floor area, both publicly